Now, the intention of any brand communication, I would suggest, is to create something called talkability. And once you've done that, to sustain the conversation for as long as possible. The global sports brand Nike seems to have done that with its hugely successful Run Jozi event. Let's look more closely at the property. We're joined now by Sarushka Naidu, who speaks for the brand. Welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. Before we talk about the brand itself, just give me a sense of the event, the initial thinking and the background.
We hosted the third edition of We Run Jozi on the 12th of October. 10,000 runners, a night run in the city of the CBD itself. It was an amazing experience, I think, to have 10,000 runners signing up, sold out race within a couple of days. And it's just building in terms of people waiting already in line for next year's race. And
the magic, of course, is running at night, but also running through, in many ways, an empty city. It gives you a whole different perspective of the city of gold, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Jeremy, I think when we had the second race, we ran from Catherine Street in Sandton into Alex, finished on the highway. It was the very first time that a race in this country finished on the highway. So it's the experience that we offer the runners. It's very different from your traditional races, and it's a social community. You're seeing a lot of young runners coming to the forefront, starting with us and continuing the movement.
You talk about the movement. Let's reflect on that. What's the brand proposition here? It's a movement, I assume, to create a healthier life.
Nike is the #1 sport brand in the world. It's in our DNA, obviously. As a running brand, that's where we founded the business. Bill Bowerman, the co-founder of Nike, coined it so perfectly. If you have a body, you're an athlete. And that's what we're trying to instill with the youth especially, encouraging them to run, to live active lifestyles, to be healthy. Running is the simplest form of exercise. And I think what we've done really, really well is the fact that we've merged the digital connection. So using our tools like Nike Plus, which is this virtual running community online, connecting people through that, and then offering them the experiences through the We Run series that we have in Johannesburg and around the world.
It's the 10,000 people that interests me. You have 10,000 disciples in many ways. They have bought into the concept. They have bought into the brand itself. You've created a brand community. Is that the broad marketing intention here?
There's 10,000 runners that start with us on race day, but they form part of something like 6 million runners on this virtual community on the Nike Plus running app, which is online. So you have 10,000 people that sign up. Unfortunately, we can't allow for more runners because you have some restrictions within the city, as most races do. But every day you're seeing an increase in the number of runners that come through to our run clubs. We have a run club in Rosebank, anything between 100 to 400 people that come out. Novice runners, and it's the more established guys, the youngsters that are kind of helping these new runners start the trend, be a part of this movement, and to run at any time. You don't have to really be a part of that experience on race day.
Sarushka, you've sold us on the success of this, and I certainly endorse that. But is this about selling shoes and T-shirts and product, or is it simply a brand building exercise?
Nike's mission is to bring inspiration and innovation to the consumer.
And sales helps.
Of course it does. You can't deny that. We're a sport brand, and it's all about bringing the best of innovation through our products to the consumers. If you're a runner, we want to provide you with the best running tools. Make sure that you're running comfortably. So we provide a holistic opportunity for runners to be immersed with regards to an experience, to being a part of a movement, to being inspired, and of course to be connected through the different platforms that we have.
Both on and off the course, how hard do you push the brand?
The brand, it's one of those iconic brands. The phrase "just do it" stands for so much more than just an indication of having people sit by the sidelines and kind of wait for something to happen. It's something that really drives you and inspires you to get up and to be a part of the movement, be a part of the community.
So people have bought into the philosophy. You don't necessarily need to over-brand everything.
No, you don't. I mean, as we say, if you have a body, you're an athlete.
As you say. Final question to you. How do you leverage this to make sure that a brand property like this lives 12 months in a year? It's all very well to invest money into something and have it live for one night. That's not good enough for any brand. You've got to live 12 months?
Most definitely. The We Run Jozi forms part of a global running community. We have events in 26 cities around the world. So this is one event, but the running itself, the everyday philosophy of being connected through the Nike Plus apps, the digital online, the virtual running community, that's your motivation to continue, to recommit, to start preparing for the next race. We'll be back for sure.
Keep visiting the app.
Exactly.
Suriska Naidu, thank you very much indeed. Speaks for the Nike sports brand. Good to talk to you. Now, brands also need to be seen to be doing something good for the community. This print ad for Nike rival Adidas caught our attention. It's to the point. It has a real message of inspiration. Coming up, a clever new Coca-Cola campaign. And as you'll see, it has a distinctly South African flavour.
News that moves. ENCA.com.